Have you ever been so far from home? You forgot what home even felt like. That's what happened to Odysseus. He was a hero, a king. But for 10 long years after the Trojan War, he couldn't find his way back. Not because he didn't try, but because the gods didn't want him to. This is his story, a journey through storms, monsters, witches, and even death itself. And it all starts with a war. The war was over. The Greeks had won. Odysseus and his men sailed out, ready to return to Ithaca. But the sea had other plans. First came the storm. Waves crashed like mountains. The sky roared. And just like that, Odysseus was pushed far off course. He found land, but not safety. It was the island of the lotus eaters. People there ate strange flowers. Flowers that made them forget everything, even their homes. Some of his men ate them and smiled and said they didn't want to leave. Odysseus pulled them back, tied them to the ship. They had to keep going, but worse things waited ahead. A cave, a giant, one-eyed, the Cyclops. He trapped them inside, ate the men one by one. Their screams filled the dark. Odysseus had to act fast, so he gave the giant strong wine. So strong, the monster fell asleep. Then, with a sharp stick, Odysseus struck the eye. The Cyclops howled in pain. Odysseus and his men slipped out beneath the sheep, but the Cyclops cursed him. He called to his father, Poseidon, the god of the sea, and the sea grew cruel after that. Next was the witch, Circe. She smiled sweetly, then turned his men into pigs. Odysseus stood alone, but the gods helped him. He faced her and won her trust. His men turned back to men again, but they lost more time. So much time. Then came the island of the dead. Odysseus spoke to ghosts. He saw old friends. He saw his mother. She had died waiting for him. Still, he pushed on. He passed the Sirens. Their song was sweet, too sweet. Men who listened jumped into the sea. So Odysseus tied himself to the mast. He heard them sing, but he did not move. Then came Scylla, a monster with 6 heads, and Charybdis, a whirlpool that could swallow a ship whole. He lost men, he lost hope, but he never gave up. Years passed. He reached new lands, faced new tests, lost his ship, floated on broken wood, until finally, one day, he saw Ithaca again. But the story doesn't end there, because his home had changed, and so had he. The king was back, but strangers sat in his hall. Men who wanted his throne, men who wanted his wife. Odysseus had one last battle, not at sea, not with monsters, but at home, the hardest fight of all. So, what happens when a hero returns, but the world has forgotten him? You'll find out in the next chapter. This was only the voyage. The homecoming is still to come. If you felt the journey, if the storm pulled you in, then like the video, share it with a friend who loves myths, and hit subscribe to join us for the next part of Odysseus' story, because this voyage has only just begun.